Well, good morning. Joined me this morning, thanks to the ouse. It's just about 6:10 at the moment. Got down here at first light today. This is second cast. Put a bit of bait out. Had a line of first cast. And the rod's just gone round again. And we got a fishy. We have a fishy. Come on, baby. Oh. We have a fishy. There we go. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. That ain't a bad old start to the morning. Beautiful fish. Get in the net. Lovely jubber. Well, that's a nice way to start the old morning. Covered in snot. Right. Get some of this off. I'm sat in an area where I actually started the season on the opening day. Came down last night and just sort of cut all the weeds out again. Put a couple of balls out, not many. Only put sort of 6 out on that far line, and then just put sort of a couple of balls a little bit closer for the slider line, which I'm going to have a go on a little bit later. Right. So I've decided not to sort of feed any worms today. I've noticed the last couple of weeks worms, I think they'd be doing more harm than good. Sort of when put more worm in, bites have eased off. When you just put grain bait out or put some castor in, the bites come back. So today I'm going down the castor corn dead maggot. Because it's quite sort of, with the weeds, they're out a little bit. I'm actually fishing a 13-foot rod today. This is Cadence 13-foot CR10 number 2. I've got that fitted with a 2-ounce tip, and I've got it matched with a CS10 4000 reel. I've got a 6-pound main line, and I've got an 8-pound shock leader. So like I say, you've got some weeds here. There is an outside chance of a tench. I did hook a tench here early season, like I say, on the opening day, which I lost in the weeds. So 13-foot rod gives you that little bit extra purchase and a little bit of extra height, hopefully keep them out the weed. I've got a quick chain swivel bead there. I've got running link to a stop, ounce feeder, twizzled loop, and I've got 28-inch engage, and I've got a size 16 Preston N30 hook. And like I say, on that I'm actually fishing a single grain of corn. So when I got here this morning, I put several sort of big feeder falls out, around about 10 feeder falls. Then once I've done that, I actually put 4 basket feeders, I think they're called, full of castors, corn and dead maggot. I think a rud's just hit that. So castor, corn, dead maggot, that's the way forward today. Something's just hit that going through the water. There we are. And the culprit is a little rudd. I'm actually using Scopex flavoured corn today, just as something a bit different. Hoping I can get through the small fish. Ooh, come on, Rod. Come on. That's it. Hoping I can get through the small fish. There's been a lot of bait just lately, which is always good to see. Not when you want to fish on the bottom. So I've also got the slider behind me. Set that up yesterday. I just need to tie a stop knot on it, so go through that a little bit later. So the grain bait I'm using today is a Bait-Tech Max feeder. Very strong fish meal, and I've also mixed with that a bag of Bait-Tech Pro Natural Bream Dark, so just darken the mix off just that little bit, because it is very, very clear still. On the old tip, so you see there, it's quite dark, not black, but it's quite dark. I've got some casters and corn in there. I'm just putting, sort of leave it out there 5 minutes or so. If I don't get an indication, then just keep building the swim up that way. I've got plenty of casters. Got a point caster there, so I've got about half a tin of corn left, and I've got probably about a quarter pint dead maggot. I've got some live maggot. Better take the lid off. Got some live maggot, and I've also got some worm by the side of me. Like I say, I haven't put in any chop worm. I might put some in on the slider. So I've put 4 or 5 balls out on the slider line. When I come to fish it, I'll put another ball out, which, like I say, that'll have some caster, might have a little bit of chop worm in. See how the session goes, really. But yeah, it's a beautiful morning. I say it's forecast to be a little bit overcast today. Southwesterly wind, odd gusts sort of around about 18 mile an hour. So we should have a little bit of a ripple on the water today with a bit of luck. Like I say, we've had a nice start with that bream. Hopefully, might be 1 or 2 more willing to feed, especially, like I say, if it stays overcast and the cloud cover does come over a little bit, with a ripple, that might spur them into having a go. Definitely noticed at the moment that you've either got to get out early morning or sort of come in the evening and fish into the dark for any chance of a bream if it's clear through the day. So I made the choice of getting down here, making sure I started at 6 o'clock. So I was on the bank round about 5:15, 5:20, something like that. Started off by putting some feeder falls out. So I started off, put 10 of the Guru bait hook feeders out. Then I put 4 of these sort of basket feeders, I think they're called. So it's hold quite a lot of loose feed there. And I put plenty of castering corn and dead maggot, like I say. So it's just a case of sit and wait and see what happens. I know from experience when I fish this sort of start the season, this is different to where I fished the other day, where I was finding the far shelf a lot shallower further down at Pymore, I've actually had a count of 14 hitting the bottom today. So I've cast 1, 2, 3, and as we've got 14, 15, it's dropped back in the middle. So I've gradually worked my way over, and once I got to a count of 14 and dropped back, I've come back a couple of turns till that's got to just about the 15 where the tips drop back. That way then I know I'm exactly on round about the bottom of that shelf, which is where me personally I always like to start. The slider, I know you need to go out a little way here, so I've actually fed round about, I would say round about 16 metres, 17 metres, something like that. That'll be off that shelf, and that's probably going to be round about 17 foot of water, I would have thought there. Whereas where I'm fishing out what you call the track, if you like, is round about just over 19 foot. It's good depth of water. Hopefully that fish wasn't on his own. Come on! Right, we've had about an hour and a half on the feeder. I had one bream, had a big skimmer, the rud, a few liners, but keep getting the odd little indication, but nothing comes from it. So I've just put out 5 more big feederfuls and a couple of them basket feeders with some castor and some corn. So I'm now going to have a go on the slider. I've put a couple of balls out just, so hopefully might get 1 or 2 fish. What I'm using today is a Cadence CR10 14 foot number 1. Now I normally use number 2. Number 1 is a lot softer action, fish a little bit lighter slider, not casting too far out, so this rod should suffice perfectly. I've got it matched up with a CS8 reel, 6 pound Dave Harrell Angling Pro Match. I've got a 10 gram, which is 8 gram and 2 gram loading float, big long insert there. I've got 6 gram Olivet, liner number 9 shot, 020 fluorocarbon, little quick chain swivel, and I've got 012 down to a size 16, and I think these are called Hayabusa hooks. I got put onto them a couple of weeks ago, so I tied a couple up last night. Got some to 011, some to 012, so I'm going to start on 012. Apparently they stay really sharp throughout the session, so we'll see how we go on. I've already tied 1 slider knot on there, but I'll now just go through and show you how I do it. People sort of tie the slider knots different ways. This is the best way that I found, which suits me. Tighten that up a bit. Right, so here we go. So all I do, I'm actually using some 8 pound line, so pull off a decent amount. There we go, so we've got a decent amount of 8 pound line there. Get the line, double the 8 pound line over on itself, so both the tags are roughly the same length. And that bit of loop there, I just hold that against the line. Then just get one of the tags, no matter which one, and all I'll do is put that over the top 4 times, the main line and the other tag. Bit of a problem in this wind, so there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then that tag put back through the loop. Bit fiddly. Back through the loop there. So hold that there, and you get the other tag as well, and just pull the 2 tags together. moisten it down. Don't pull them too tight because you want it to slide. Then all I do with what I've got left of me nails is just butt the knot up together. There we go. So there's me slider knot there. And all you do, that'll move along the line like so. A little bit tighter. Like I say, just butt it up. Right, now what you must remember is you've got long tags there. I like to leave them about 2 inches. Reason being, those tags will fold against each other when they're casting through. So I've got 2 slider knots, so I'm going to butt this one up against my other one when I start fishing. So what I can do then is, with both the knots together, I can shallow up, leave one where it is, once I can get the tag down. Right, I can shallow up, put the 2 together, leave one where it is, and I haven't got to worry about knowing exactly where my depth is, because the one slider knot is always going to stay where it is. The tag's all twisted up. Right, so you've got your 2 tags. I've already plumbed up the depth, so I know where I'm going to be fishing. It's roughly, let's have a look, so it's 14, so I'm saying I'm going to be fishing round about 17 foot deep. Pull out the line. So like I say, there's me 2 slider knots there. Like I say, I've already plumbed up. So we've got that's me main one, which is the second one there. Bit fiddly with all these tags. Loads of tags. Right, so that's your main one there. This is basically almost like you say, almost like your backup. It stop any slippage, but also, like I say, for altering the depth. Perfect. Right, those 2 are now butted up together. So we are ready to rock and roll. So I've already plumbed this up. We'll just cast out a little bit. Drop that out. Don't need that there. Right. So here we go. So we start off with a piece of corn. Let that feed line rest for about sort of half an hour. So cast out, sink the line, just pay the line out till the float cocks down. There we go. Just put the rod down on the rest. With that bulk, that's stopping any wrap overs. Then just with that swivel, the swivel's also acting, like you say, like what would be like your bottom shot. So there's a fish straight away. fish, very warm. Hook the corn till the point just showing through the other side. Cast, couple of turns, sink the line, just pay that line out, wore the tips under the water till the float cocks. There you go. Oh. Well, that's a combine or what behind, but there's a lot of dust. Beauty having that long insert, very sensitive. I mean, I've got the float dotted down, probably only about 10mm sticking out the water. Tiniest indication, that float's going under. If I was to put another number 9 shot on now, that float would just disappear. About an inch, 2 inches on the bottom. Just that one. Hook the corn so it's got the point showing. Just feather it through, a couple of turns, so you can feel the olivet going through the water. So just pay the line out. So it takes a bit longer to go down. Normally use a 10 gram with a 2 or 3 gram loading. That float's now settled perfectly. Be a bit of cloud cover about today. It's nice having the old current bun out, but better with a little bit of cloud. gonna take that corn off and put a couple of casters on. Fish have been a bit finicky of late. Sometimes if there's some roach about, they've been taking the caster a little bit easier than the corn. Go on straight away. See, we've had to succumb to the hoodie, even though the sun's still out. That is a very nippy wind around the old back of the neck. Get the odd fish on the slider, not big fish, little sort of skimmers and silver bream. Fishing 2 bits of worm on the hook, actually sort of just hook through the head, through the tail, then just snip it in the middle. I know we shouldn't say it, but please go away, son. I want it to cloud up. all I'll do with the hook bait on the worm, the slider, get it sort of, not a massive worm, get a worm that sort of size, hook through the head, so hook it through the head and just hook it through the tail, and all I'll do then, if I've got no nails, just snip it in the middle. I find that is, when all else fails, that's the bait to fish on the slider. They get a bit sort of finicky on the corn or the caster. Fishing that worm like that, tendency to get a bite when all else fails. Because the river isn't hardly moving, there's a lot of surface skim with the wind. She's just pushing the float through a little bit. Hence the reason I've got that laid on the bottom a little bit. On the bottom about 2-3 inches, I think it is, something like that. Sitting on the rest and wait for her to go. Come on! All I've seen is one other angler on the bank. Alfie just stopped and had a bit of a chat. I think he's gone sort of up round the corner by the railway bridge. Lovely peg this is. Like I say, I don't fish it a lot. I fished it at the start of the season. So it's on a bit of a bend, but so a bit of a sweeping bend there. I fished it in the winter last year and did okay. So I fished it at the start of the season, and I brought my mate here a couple of months, month or so back. Never fished the river before, knew there was plenty of sort of small fish here that you could catch. So it's always nice to come back and fish an area that you haven't fished for a while. just off that shelf where it's starting to level off a little bit. Get back on that feeder in a minute. I'll put some, like I say, I'll put some bait out before I came on the slider. Don't want to leave it too long. And I'll put a ball out on this line. Go back on the tip. Tangerine sort of size. Tight as you can get to the bottom. So that's the sort of size top of balls that I'll be using. So I don't want to leave that feeder too long where I put that bait. Just put a couple of topper balls out. I'm going to get back on the feeder. Odd bite still on the slider, but not as forthcoming as I thought it would be with the amount of fish that seems to be about on the top and everything. Still getting the odd little skimmer. An inch now, so I've shallowed up about 4 or 5 inches. Seems that they want it laying on. Ideal. There's the beauty of the 2 slider knots there. As you can see, this is where we started. We've shallowed up. So now I'm going to bring that one back down. So when I start back again, back laying on the bottom. Back on the feeder. So put that bait down there. Start straight away on a bit of corn. See, little rod tip. It's just above the water there. Out those decent feeder falls. A bit longer rod today can keep the fish's head up a little bit. With this weed. Nice long landing net handle, so as soon as that fish comes up, straighten the net. That ain't a bad fish either. Look at that bad boy. Piece of Scopex corn. Take the bream. Come on. Smile for the camera. Be a good boy. There we go. Lovely fish. Let's get back out there and see if there's one or two more waiting as well. Oosh. Booty. Skimmer. whole piece of worm. There we go. Lovely fish. Saying that's come to a whole piece of worm. See if we get one or two more before we head off home. Oh, look at that. Lovely net fish. So got some skimmers, we've got some roach. Not a massive net, but beautiful net fish nonetheless. There's the biggest bream of the day. Beautiful fish. Lovely morning on the Ouse at 10 Mile Bank.